So I'm coming back to you guys after a little break. We've been dealing with Maya's recruitment as she's entering into her recruit period, June 15th. We're looking to push her through January to June. Everything is going great. We're following the same steps that I laid forward to you throughout my emails and episodes before us. But now let's just get into it. We're looking at now with me moving over to coaching now that my kids are getting older and advancing in their whole development. Now I actually got a little time to coach high school football. So I'm teaming up with my buddy over at Persian. And so it comes up that a lot of people want to know how to get recruited in high school for football. We're not talking transfer portal, we're talking specifically high school football. And again, I'm a step follower, so for me it's pretty simple. It's when to get started, more or less say, instead of how to get recruited, when to get started to give yourself the best chance at getting recruited. And it's a few steps, and those steps I think follow throughout my last 15 years of how I help kids go from NAIA to JUCO to D2 to a lot of D1, and it's been 1,000 of these kids throughout multiple different sports, including my own kid and the kids that I started with 17, 18 years ago at East Lansing High School. And it's getting, the quicker you get started, the better off you are. And so for me, let's both focus on following a few steps, right? And if we're looking at 6th grade, 7th grade at the latest, you want your kid to be in some type of workout program, conditioning program, where they have to start losing weight, eating the right way, start doing push-ups, sit-ups. If that's it, going with mom and dad to the gym, minimum where they can start focusing on building muscles on joints, shoulders, elbows, knees, hips, and just moving the right way and playing rec sports just so they can start moving. That's minimum. Now, if they're focused on more of a, we want to zero in their parents being athletes, now these kids have to get them with a trainer, right? Get them with somebody that can actually build a program specifically for them. We don't know how long that's going to take, but find somebody. There's multiple guys out there. DM me. I can show you all over the gym region. Number 2, as you advance, you got to start working on the foundations and the fundamentals of football. That's route running, blocking, tackling, speed, agility, and the foundations all starts in the hips. Like as you advance throughout, the start to now 7th grade, 8th grade, you have to be able to be sound where you can fundamentally understand and do just those few things. And then you got to start focusing on speed development, no matter what position they think they are or think they want to play. Speed development is something that's going to be a foundation of all positions in football. And then as you move to you get a little older, you want to advance the lifting program from that beginner stage, push-ups, sit-ups, crunches, burpees, jumping, now to small muscles development where we're focusing on the lifting around the elbows, the joints, the shoulders, the hips, where you're squatting with dumbbells, curls, shoulders, presses, rows, stuff like that. Just to start building that foundational muscle on the skeleton. We're not even looking at power lift yet. We're looking at more just to lift, to get strong throughout the body. And then you're going to advance down 3. You're going to advance to 8th grade, where now you want to looking to join a 7-on-7 team, an active team, not a local team, an actual active team of a travel team, where you are on your local team, but you also should be on a travel team. So now you can start getting into the advancing of the showcases inside of it. And that's where you would actually get the offers at the 707 showcase and the combine showcases before you get on the season. But we're still focusing on that starting point where now we got to get onto, say, the battle circuit. And here in Michigan, that's good sound mind, sound body. It's just starting on 707, taking the fundamentals that you learn to advance them now into 707, where you're actually practicing these and understanding the reading of the coverages and stuff like that on the secondary. I'm the DB coach at Detroit Persian, so it's getting the kids to understand. Okay, I see a 2x1. I see a 3 back on this side. Now that's 3 receivers. Now I'm reading 3 to 2 if I'm the linebacker. If I'm the slot corner, I'm reading 2 to 1. but my eyes are in the back. Now we starting to get them practice and they can start seeing that. So that's the foundation of the boom, boom, boom. But then it's the advancement inside of the weight room in 8th grade to get you ready to be entering high school. That is where the separation happens at the earlier stages for kids, because most of them aren't ready physically to be on varsity. So they have to adjust. So that's why we start in 6th grade, to get them to get to that point where they can now start adjusting. Now they can start, okay, we're in 8th grade, we're teaching them power clean, deadlift, push press, bench press. We built the foundation. Now we're advancing into the powerlifting, which is what's going to allow us to be explosive into it. Now that's as we move into number 4. Now, number 4 is critical because we've been in the development stages for 2 to 3 years, sometimes just 2. Even if you're a late bloomer, we were starting 7th grade, we moved to 8th grade. Now it's 2. Right now we're in the 9th grade, and our goal is to make varsity by 10th grade and be a starter. So we want to be able to be moved up in 9th grade and start in 10th grade. Carve ourselves. It doesn't matter what position. We're looking at starting so we can actually get game film reps, right? But the advancement in the weight room, I believe, is going to be the most critical aspect. And advancement on speed. I think all football players should run track. And that becomes almost like spring ball for football. Now, down south, they have football. Michigan, we don't have that luxury because our weather is terrible. So we have to adjust and run track and do the speed development. And that has to come, throughout the winter and then throughout the spring. Wintertime, lifting weights has got to be the most important and critical aspect as you're talking about high school kid, and you're looking at this. Now, once you're in the 9th grade, you have to revert back to my emailing school's email. And that's when you're entering 9th grade, especially if you're a kid on 9th grade and you get moved up to varsity, or you're a 10th grader on varsity, or your possibilities, your thought process, you're going to be starting on varsity in 10th grade. You have to already start this process where you start looking at 30 to 60 schools, where you're talking with your coach, your advisor, whomever, 30, 60 schools, and you want to send out questionnaires, and you want to contact those schools, get all your stuff. And that gives you a process. If you go through my emailing schools, or you go all the way back to getting on the radar, it starts with questionnaires, and all that gives you everything that you need to have developed and processed and pulled out to be able to submit. And that's NCAA ID number, counselor's name, email, address, football coach's name, email, address, recruiting coordinators at your school or your club or your 707, first name and email address, the school address, you need your home and address, your mom and dad home and address, phone number. All of that needs to go into the questionnaire. From that, to get your NCAA ID number, you have to talk to your counselor. Then you fill it out at home, or if you're at school, different schools like provide vouchers, but you want to get that in because that's the most important. Then you got to get your transcripts sent to the NCAA. The only person who can do that is the counselor. You can't do it. The counselor has to do it because that's come from the school, and an official transcript, and it goes on. Now, once it's on there, at that point, everybody can now recruit you because they can see that and they know what your grades are, and it's worth spending money on just even calling you, let alone emailing. Emails takes time. Sending stuff, inviting you to campus makes no sense until they know if you possibility of being able to qualify. Right? So that's the most important. Then it goes on, and now we're starting the process. Now, once we're emailing these schools, we're on varsity, we got the right requirements, we're taking the right classes, everything's inside the NCAA ID center. Everybody can see it. Everybody know what we have to do, what class we need to take to get to the end of the point. Everything's secure. We got that point. We're through this point. We're advancing in lifting weights. We're advancing into the recruiting process. We're in 10th grade now. We're on varsity. What we got to do, we got to perform. We have to get better. We have to get stronger. We have to show from 10th grade to 11th grade that we got bigger, we got stronger, we got faster, we got more explosive. Our grades got better. Simple. Doesn't matter if you on sound mind silent body, if you're inside the battle, you can take this program, this process, do it. Then you go to a campus on a junior day at one of the showcases for the actual specific team, and they will offer you on the spot. if you can hit the numbers, show you're a workout warrior, you got your transcripts are inside and they're solid, at that point, you're recruitable.